For most of our fireplaces, we specify split bricks. These are thin bricks and they require a very thin joint. A lot of people say, you can't make the joint that thin correctly. Well, you can if you know how to do it. What this man is doing is he's filtering the sand so that we get the very fine sand. When you take out all the coarser pieces, you can use this fine sand to make a very refined mortar and get those 1/4-inch joints. For most of our fireplaces, we try and use an interesting pattern on the inside. These are either herringbone or a chevron pattern. Occasionally, we still use what's called a common bond, and that's what you're seeing here. In all cases, we usually specify a split brick. That is a thinner brick than typical. Here is a typical brick. It's about 2 1/4 inches. When we specify these fire brick splits or thin bricks, we always want to specify a thin joint. That's about 1/4 inch. It's not easy to do 1/4-inch joints in masonry, so they sift the sand and get just the finest sand. Another thing they do is they'll sometimes lay the fireplace walls on the floor and assemble them there. You can see one here being planned out. Now, how do they get that mortar in there? They actually use a bag, much like a pastry bag, and they'll make the mortar very thin. They'll squirt it in there and then press it in with a little tool. When it's all dry, they tilt the walls up to make the fireplace, and that's what you're seeing going on here. The walls have been tilted up, and they're just adding the pieces in the front by hand.